Hi, I'm Ruff Raspberry Running. Hope you're doing well, staying safe, training hard, and I hope you had a really good Christmas. With the festivities over, it's time to take a look at what's coming up in 2023. We had a pretty successful 2022, taking on the Peddars Way 48-mile race in January. In April, we did the Testway Ultra, which is a 50-mile race. In July, we did the Salomon Serpent Trail 100k. And in October we did the North Chilterns 50k, so pretty successful year all round. But in 2023 I'm looking to progress and do some more big races, so let's dive in and take a look at those now. Okay, the first race, the Arc of Attrition. This is one I've mentioned on social media quite a bit over the last couple of months. The Arc of Attrition is set in Cornwall by Mud Crew Events. And there are two races. You've got the Arc 100 miler and then the Arc 50 mile race. The Arc Attrition starts on Friday the 27th of January and the Arc 50 starts on the Saturday the 28th. Both are tough winter ultra marathons set along the Cornish coast path, but obviously the 100 mile event's the prestige event. I'm taking on the Arc 50 because I've never run a 100 miler before, and I've had it on good authority from some friends in the running community that the Arc is probably not the best race to do for your first 100 miler. But if it all goes well, next time around I'll do the 100 miler, so January 2024, hopefully I can do that. The race starts, the Arc 50 race starts at the Minack Theatre in Porthcurno, and it follows the coast path with the finishing line at the Eco Park in Porthtown. This is a particularly tough 50 miler due to the potential weather conditions in January, the terrain, the elevation, and the fact there's only one aid station after about 29 miles, so you're going for a long period of time without any support, so you've got to make sure you carry everything with you. But I'm super excited about this race. It's one that I've wanted to do for a very long time. I know some others doing the race as well, so it's going to be good to catch up with those guys and some other people from the running community that I've met before, and some that I haven't, but I've chatted to online. So like Stephen Cousins from Film My Run, and of course Lloyd and Liga Purvis from Run for Adventure, who I met last year in the Salomon Serpent Trail. But yeah, that's the first race of 2023. I'm super excited to that, but now on to the next race. Okay, the second race in the calendar is on the 26th of February and it's with Freedom Racing, and that's the North Downs Ridge 50k. So my first Freedom Racing event was this year, the Salomon Serpent Trail 100k, and it was one of the best ultra events that I've ran and attended, and it was just amazingly put together, organised by Nikki and Tom from Freedom Racing. So I was looking for a race in February to keep the fitness up after doing the Arc 50, and I picked this one because of my experiences with Freedom Racing, so it's a no-brainer really. The race is based in Denby's Wine Estate near Dorking, and it follows the North Downs Way. The course is an out and back with a little loop at the start, and it takes in the beautiful countryside of the North Downs Way. The course has a generous 10-hour cut-off, so it's perfect for anyone who's looking to take on their first ultra, and there's also a chance just for me to maintain fitness as I prepare for my goal race, which we'll discuss shortly. But yeah, so that's the second one in the calendar for 2023. Okay, so on to the third race, and that's Rose of the Shires. So this one is set on the 8th of April, and it's set in Northampton. So we're travelling 2 hours up the M1 to take on this race and building steadily up to the 2023 goal race. The Rose of the Shires is organised by Go Beyond Challenge, and the race starts at Brixworth Country Park, and it's a single loop around the Northamptonshire countryside, taking on two country parks, Southsea Forest, the Grand Union Canal, lots of villages and towns, whilst following the Nenny Way, I think that's how you say it, the Midshires Way and the Northampton Round. So it's a signposted event with 6 checkpoints, all supported by the local running community, which is excellent. The course is run on a mixture of terrain, with 78% being on trail, and the rest of that's on hard standing. So I'm looking forward to a good race on that one. It's got a generous 13.5 hour cut-off, so it should be plenty of time to get around the course. So that is number 3 in the race calendar. Okay, so on to the 4th race of the year, and this is my goal race for 2023. We're heading down to Petersfield to run the UK Ultra South Downs 100 mile race. I'm nervous and excited to be lining up for a 100 mile ultra marathon. I've been thinking about doing it for some time, and it just feels like now is the right time. I think the experience I've gained over the last 2 years of running ultras has put me in a good position now to run my first 100 miler. The race is organised by UK Ultra, a relatively new company, I think, to the ultra scene, founded by Neil Kirby, who is an ex-footballer who's revived his passion from running, which he did as a college boy, schoolboy as well. So the South Downs 100 mile ultra takes place on the 27th of May. It starts in the Queen Elizabeth Country Park in Petersfield, with runners travelling along the picturesque Staunton and Monarch's Way, finishing over the iconic Beachy Head in Eastbourne. The route has 13 well-stocked aid stations, all run by volunteers, again, which is excellent, and the course is well waymarked and signed, making navigation easier. There's a bespoke belt buckle for anyone who finishes the event, and a free massage as well, which I think I might be making use of, so that's good. The course is 95% trail, which is excellent, and the elevation profile has 12,000 feet of ascent, so pretty hilly. I've run some of that trail, particularly the part around Eastbourne, and I know what those hills are like along that cliff line, so it's definitely not going to be easy once I get towards those cliffs. You know, the fact it's going to be near the end of the 100 miles, so those hills are going to be probably quite brutal, I should imagine, but we'll see. It's the first time for me as well that I've ever put a crew together for a race, so that's going to be a new experience, and I may even get a pacer if I can as well, which you can have pacers, I think, from about mile 63, something like that. So I may see if I can get somebody to pace for me, but we'll do our best. If we can't get any crew or pacers, then I'll just rely on the aid stations, and we'll make our way through to the finish, fingers crossed. So this race will also be an RBR Charity 2023 race, and there's more coming up on that and the charity that we've chosen for next year in a future video, so keep your eyes peeled. But that is the goal race for 2023. It's the 4th race in the calendar, so on to number 5. So after the 100 miler, we're taking a little break to calm things down a bit before we take on the 5th event for the year. So on the 8th of July, we'll be heading across to Sudley Castle in the Cotswolds, Gloucestershire, to take on the Maverick Adidas Turex Original Cotswolds 23 trail race. That's a mouthful. Sudley Castle is set in 1,200 acres of estate land, and was home to King Henry VIII's last and surviving wife, Queen Catherine Parr, who lived and died in that castle. And the castle was one of many that was slighted by Oliver Cromwell, and lay derelict for over 200 years. Now it's the home of Elizabeth Lady Ashcombe and family, and they've restored many parts of the castle, and they continue with restoration and preservation works to this day and ongoing. So, but back to the race. There's 3 distances to choose from. On the day, I'll be taking on the 23k race, but you can also choose the 15 or the 8k races options as well. The route is on well-established hard-packed trails with some steep elevation in parts, and the total elevation is plus 519 meters for the 23k race. Many of those trails I've run on before. It's a place I really enjoy running, so it's going to be fun, I think, and being a shorter race, it will give me chance for my body to recuperate a bit and just enjoy running rather than worrying about how far I've still got to go, you know. So runners are taking on a big loop across rolling hills in the north of the Cotswolds, through some very English villages, heritage sites, and back to the castle. The Cotswolds is my favourite place of mine to run, as I said, so this should be a very picturesque and beautiful race. And as this is an Adidas Terex event, sponsored event, there should be loads of people there, so it should be real fun as well. So that is the 5th event for 2023. So on to the 6th event of the year, and it takes place on the 9th of September, and it is called The Lap. You may have seen this advertised. There was quite a lot of heavy advertising about it, but I first saw it advertised on Facebook, and that was last year, and it immediately interested me, caught my eye straight away. And the route was formed from an old map that was almost found by accident, and the organisers took the old map, devised a route, and I think it's worthy of any ultra. It looks great. The race is sponsored by Dynafit, the American apparel brand, and the race is located at Lake Windermere in the Lake District. Lake Windermere is the largest lake in England, and it's also home to lots of beautiful countryside. The route is run twice a year. The first one is May, and it's run in the clockwise direction, that way, and in September it's run anti-clockwise. So obviously I'm doing the anti-clockwise race. Starting at Race HQ in Low Cunsey Farm, Ambleside, the runners basically run the entire way around the lake. So the only goal really is to keep the lake on your left as you travel around it. You're taking a mixture of ungroomed single track trails, fire roads, and small sections of villages where you have to hit the tarmac. The route is 75k or 47 miles, and it's completely waymarked with signage, so navigation is not an issue. There's 2,500 meters of elevation, and 95% of the route is on trails. There are plenty of aid stations, 5 in total, all stocked with the usual delights, including hot food as well at the halfway point. And what's more, something I really like is that any food that is left over is given to the local food hubs, so nothing goes to waste. So excellent idea, love that. And this is a unique race. It's a very exciting one, and one that I think I could be closing the year out with. I don't have another race planned after that, but you never know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm super excited to take on the lap. I've read a lot of good things about that, and it looks awesome. So that is race number 6 of 2023. So that's the calendar for 2023. I might squeeze in a race towards the end of the year, but there's no pressure for me to do that, so we'll see what happens. I think 6 races will be a really good amount of races. Could be pushing on almost a little bit too much, but we'll see how it goes. And you never know, maybe I might squeeze in some fun races towards the end of the year, nothing with any pressure or worrying about any distances or anything like that. So we'll see. It's going to be a good rear racing though. One I'm really looking forward to getting started with the Arc 50 in Jan. It's going to be awesome. There's definitely some apprehension as well, taking on 100 miles, but it's also a challenge I think I know I'm ready for. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to my goal race as well. We'll be taking you on for the journey, obviously. Starting with the Arc, we'll be taking the cameras along, so make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we upload any new content. But yeah, it's going to be very cool, so I look forward to taking you along that journey. There's links in the description below for all of the races, so check them out for yourself, and maybe I'll see you on the start line of one of them. But now it's your turn. What races are you planning for 2023? Are you targeting a new distance or maybe a personal best? Why not let us know in the comments below. If you're lining up any of the races I'm doing for 2023, then let me know. It'd be great to catch up with you, as I said. But I think that's a wrap. The hard work has already started, obviously with the training for the Arc 50, and looking forward to basically building on that for May, for the big race. So yeah, awesome. But thank you for watching. I wish everybody a very happy new year, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel soon. So train hard, race hard, have fun, and until next time,